Yes, it is indeed that time, my friend Kavari. Shout outs to you, buddy. You're the one who got me to watch this. And by the end of it, okay, I have to admit, it's pretty cool. Hello guys and welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies. The art style really isn't my thing. I prefer 2D animation. I prefer like hand-drawn animation over 3D animation. I'm always going to say that because that's just the type of art style I like. I'm so much into like anime and like old classic Disney movies and Arcane. So hello, in today's video we are going to be reviewing none other than Arcane. The animation, it's gorgeous to look at the same time. Well, I should say the art style, really. The art style is gorgeous to look at. And it's really different. It's a really different type of art style. And Netflix has used this art style before in the past. It looks fantastic. I really do like the look. But in terms of the animation, the movement, it's just not my cup of tea. It doesn't look, I don't know, it's just jarring to see these things move. I don't know, it doesn't look as fluent as it was and I know you're gonna say, well, it's just a difference in budget between a TV show and a movie, but I feel like the movement in Klaus, I call it Claus because it's about Santa Claus, but Klaus, I feel like the movement in that was a little bit more fluent than this, and like, I don't expect these characters to move the way they do, and even though it's great, it's kind of surprising. Background, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really cool, but the backgrounds are so dark and dingy, and that's what they're supposed to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of detail in the background, but the main characters are so colorful. Especially Jinx, which we are going to get to the characters and the story in a second. But the main characters are so colorful that you can't focus on the great detail they put in the background. Which makes it actually a really cool show that they did that, because if you rewatch it, I'm pretty sure instead of looking at the main characters, which is kind of hard because your eyes focus on, I don't know if you know this, but your eyes want to focus on bright colors, and that's why they made the main characters bright colors, so you focus on them. But if you take your eyes off of them, there is so much amazing detail in the background of the show. It's insane. It's I was gonna say it's simple, but it's really not. It's actually really interesting. It takes place in this magical world, and it's literally about taking these magical gems and making advanced technology with it. And the advanced technology within the show that's actually really impressive with the way they did. At the same time, there's other magical elements, like there's even a drug that turns people into monsters that if you don't take a sedative, you literally turn into a monster, you know? And literally it's split between two worlds. You know, it's the same world, but it's literally split between the rich, the wealthy, and the guys in the slums. And we get to see a lot of both worlds. But in terms of the show itself, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Now, the story really starts out when it comes to these two sisters. First off, there's a girl named Powder, which, okay, she turns into Jinx. I did not like Jinx. Now hold on, I know what you're gonna say. How can you not like Jinx? Cause she is way too crazy. She is literally, I would say, crazier than Harley Quinn. Like, literally, when I watched the show, I was terrified of Jinx. And by the end of the show, what she ended up doing at the end of the season, she terrified me even more. Which, yeah, I guess that's the point of the show, so they accomplished something. She's a little too crazy for me. But I do like her sister, Vi. And again, it starts out with Powder, Jinx when she's a little girl, and her older sister, Vi. And, you know, they're kind of in a adopted family situation, going through the underground town, you know, trying to do little missions, trying to steal food and whatnot to, you know, hopefully survive the next day. And then their Uncle Silco, which, yeah, Silco was crazy. Silco was probably, without a doubt, my favorite character of the show. No doubt about it. He was my favorite character of the show, honestly. Silco was absolutely crazy. He ends up killing his brother, slash the quote-unquote adopted dad of Vi and Powder. And then, you know, Vi, she gets mad at Powder because Powder always messes up the job, and they thought they could go in there and save their dad before Silco killed him, and they couldn't, and she gets mad at Powder and runs away. Eventually Vi gets arrested and is stuck in prison for like the next, I think it was like 12 years. Meanwhile, Powder becomes Jinx, working under Silco. Silco literally takes her in, and I found that moment really interesting when honestly, I thought he was gonna kill her. When he almost killed her. But just before his lackey could kill her, he decided to hug her. He decided to take her in. And he's always going on throughout the show about how everyone betrays him, and he won't betray Jinx. And Jinx, you know, shouldn't betray him because, you know, they gotta stick together. The whole world's against them, they gotta stick together. Unfortunately, I think he should have paid a little bit more attention to the trauma that she has gone through, because it obviously turned her into Harley Quinn. Yeah, and I really liked like the animation changed whenever we were focusing on Jinx and her like madness. That was insane. It was really interesting. Again, it's a really good show. It's a really good show. And then later on, you know, we also have the scientist guy, which is named Jace. Jace, I absolutely loved Jace. He was fantastic in it. And then, you know, he's also working with this other scientist named Victor. And Victor just has a sad story throughout this. Victor can't get a break. He's, you know, he's sick all the time. He has some type of disease caused by the magic that they're messing with, and it's only the magic that could hopefully save his life. Eventually he goes crazy with it, and it starts making him sicker and sicker and sicker. Victor's a really interesting character. I enjoyed him, and I know I'm glossing over a lot of what actually happens in the show. Basically what happens is once Vi gets out, she starts looking for her sister. Jinx is again working for Silco, who is trying to take over basically the guys up top, Because of course he's from the bottom pack. He wants power, and he has power through the drug trade and everything else. He wants to become the leader of everything, basically, along with his daughter, which he considers his daughter, Jinx. Which I really like the dynamic between Jinx and Silco, especially, you know, whenever Jinx came to visit Silco, and yeah, you just didn't know what Jinx was gonna do. I didn't know if Jinx actually trusted Silco. And then, at the very end, you know, we got Jace, who literally throughout the show has great story progression. He literally becomes one of the top leaders of the country, and he has a chance to create peace. And he literally says, you know what? Instead of going to war, we have the technology to destroy him, because after he teamed up with Vi and went after Silco's men, he learned what his powers, what his technology could do. He could eliminate all the underground, and he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to eliminate people. He just wants to, you know, he might want to eliminate Silco because Silco's a bad guy, but he wants to create peace and help people with his technology. And he knows if he goes to war, that he would destroy him. So he goes to the rest of the councilmen and says, hey, we gotta have peace. At the same time, we have Jinx going crazy, capturing Vi and Silco, having a nice, weird dinner with her family, picks up a gun, and is about to blast her sister when her sister's friend, I can't remember her name, but she was another council member who was always with Jace, but then ended up working with Vi, and to hopefully save her and of course her entire people, she ended up being shot by Jinx. And Jinx goes crazy, blasting everyone, killing Silco. Oh my god. I can't believe that Silco died that way. You know? And I mean, Silco had the chance. Silco had the chance to literally give up Jinx and become a councilman. And he refused to. You know, that's why Jinx captured him, because she thought that he would betray her, but he was never going to. He wouldn't. That's the thing. So it's a shame that he died. And she picks up a big blaster and shoots a magical rocket at the councilmen just at the moment the councilmen agreed to peace. That's how the season ends. What a very interesting show. Now again, I'm skimming through a lot of how the magical powers work, about how the technology works. 10-15 minute video. I could literally spend days going through the magic of Arcane. It's really interesting. Apparently this anime from Netflix, I'm gonna call it an anime, from Netflix, is based off of a video game, and the video game must have a lot of levels and power-ups and stuff. It's actually a really cool video game. If I can figure out where to get the video game and how to play it, I might actually like to play the Arcane video game and see how different it is from the TV show. That might be interesting. But let me know if you think I should do that down in the comments below. It's a really good show. It's typically not my art style. It's typically not even my type of story, but let me tell you, it's really interesting. And every time I clicked on it, I started getting drawn in very much. Drawn into the story, especially I would say by episode 6. The beginning though is slow, and that's the only reason why I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10. really slow in the beginning. I almost dropped out of it, but my buddy Kavari kept telling me, just watch it, it gets insane. And I've seen that shows. I've seen many shows that get insane later on down the line and are just really slow in the beginning. I mean, I would say Attack on Titan is one of them. Overlord is one of them. But I love Attack on Titan. I love Overlord, you know, so, and I ended up loving Arcane too. Yep, that's right, I ended up loving Arcane. But I would still say, and I'm pretty sure it's a good thing because the animation is supposed to be just like probably the characters from the video game. It does look like a video game. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye.